Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? I'm back again with another little stream for you. This is a match preview, guys. Just a little prediction and team lineup discussion, basically, for the game tomorrow. Manchester United versus Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park, aka Cantona's kicking gym. Basically, we are hopefully going to smash up these moats again, Cantona style, tomorrow. How are we all doing tonight, guys? Thank you for joining us and getting in here for the stream. Let's go. How are you all doing? Hey, Nick Pendragon, Stay Clint, FJT, Reaper, Bart, Paul Holland. Thanks for getting your highlighted comment in, Paul Holland. He's been a member for a month. Let's be having you. Thank you, Mr. Holland. Let's get some orange emojis in there for Mr. Paul Holland and for Eric Ten Hag. Much love to you, Paul Holland. Thank you. Johnny Gallagher, Reaper King, Gaming Simp, Ronnie Dodge, Cake, Pal Marius, Eddie's Football Waffle, Blake Butler, Sonic Asylum. Everyone, thanks for joining us for tonight's show. Gung Shi, Stay Clint, and all the rest of you legends. We're going to be getting deep into this then. So, Manchester United versus Palace. We're in an incredible run of form right now. In fact, we have the second best form in the Premier League behind only the Arsenals. Yeah. So Arsenal are doing well at the moment, or to credit them. If you look at the league form so far this season, or not so far this season, but over the last 6 games, Manchester United have a pretty awesome record. We've lost 1, which was against Villa, and then we've gone on a tear and won 5 games in a row. Fulham, Nottingham Forest, Wolves, Bournemouth, and Manchester City, all drubbed up. Raw, my son. Let's get some raw emojis in there. So, you know, we're looking good at the moment. Arsenal have the best form in the league. They've got a draw instead of a loss. Other than that, we've got the second best form. So it tells you where we're at right now. Crystal Palace, on the other hand, over the last 6 games, they are 15th in the Premier League form guide in the table for form. Now that is pretty gastastic, isn't it? That doesn't really spell out a team that's performing too well at the moment. They've in fact lost 4 out of the last 5, including a loss to Nottingham Forest, 1 to Fulham, 1 to Tottenham, and 1 to Chelsea. Now the last 2 are sort of understandable, but they are having a bit of a shitter. There's no doubt about it. So in terms of them giving us a tough test tomorrow, I'm not really feeling likely that it's going to be the case. By the way, I forgot to say at the start of the stream, everyone, I've had a mare. Thanks for being here, guys. Smash that like button on it. Give us a thumbs up. Hit that like on it. We will have a Q&A at the end of the stream, so stick around for that as well. But for now, drop the thumbs up. It's free. Boost us up there and get yourself subscribed and chatting in the live chat as well. Shout out everyone. El Professor, FIFA Don, Matthew Smith, Eamon Barrett, FJT, Colin Archer, K-Slater, Gaming Sim, Johnny Gallagher, and everyone as well for being here. So, yes, form-wise, Crystal Palace are absolutely gastastic. They're about as much use as a glass dildo, these guys. Because let's face it, that's what a Crystal Palace is, guys. It's essentially a glass dildo. You know what happens with a glass dildo when you drop it from even just a couple of feet? It breaks. Do you know what I mean? It smashes into a million pieces. It crumbles. That's Crystal Palace for you guys. That's what we're dealing with here. There's no rubber bounce back ability on the go here. You know, this is just brittle. That's what they are. Brittle. You know, they are brittle. Anyway, so I'm expecting us to go out there and smash them up, to be fair, guys. You look at the form Manchester United are in. We are dropping up melts. The team is performing very consistently week to week, even when tested with a really tough test last week with Manchester City. Everyone was saying, oh, this is when it's going to be the wheels fall off for Ten Hag after beating all the easy teams like Fulham and Notts Forest and these guys. Now it's a test against a really good team. And City are a good team. Manchester United passed that test. We fought back for 1 down. We drubbed them up. We spit shined Pep's bald head. It was a thing of absolute beauty. It was an absolute thing of beauty. I enjoyed it immensely. And I don't see that slowing down against Crystal Palace because they're just not that good. Now, anything can happen on any given day. They are, like I say, 15th in the form guide right now in terms of the table, where they actually sat in the table. Let's just confirm that. So they're slightly better than their form shows. They had a slightly better start to the season. They are 12th at the moment with 22 points. They're 16 points behind Manchester United. That's the golf. Anyway, so we should be capable of getting the job done against these Melts tomorrow. Come on, United. Let's just get a score prediction in then, everyone. Please do play along at home. Get your score predictions in there. But I feel like we probably will concede. I've been getting my score predictions right lately, by the way, so you better listen up. They call me Mystic Pig because I predict these things. You know what I'm going for? I'm going for a 3-1. That's one of my favourite fixture results to choose, to be fair. But that's what I'm going for. 3-1, because I honestly think that's probably what it will be. Palace, you know, they're at home. They'll be flooding people forward. You know, Zaha's always dangerous on on the break, etc. And I think they probably will maybe cause us some problems. We've got to concede at some point, don't we? I know we've been, like more so even against Melters. I think we probably will concede, but our confidence, our ability to just win games and grind out results at the moment is just apparent. I think we are probably going to smash up Crystal Palace and score a good few goals. So happy days there. Let's see what you legends are saying. So Slim Reaper says 4-1. Michael says 3-1. Gaming Simp says 5-0 to the mighty United. Susan Lively Sue, what's going on? Thinks 2-1. 3-0 says Pal Marius. 3-1 says Ronnie Dodge. 4-1 says Slim Reaper and Bart. 3-1. Gangshi says 3-0. 2-1 says FJT. So nobody's predicting a Crystal Palace win, which is nice to see. 7-0 Drubbin says Fully. 3-1 says 86 Ram. 4-2 Weghorst braces El Professor. Legend. We'll get onto that in a sec. Thanks for all your predictions, guys. So we're all feeling a positive win here. No dramas. Ten Hag's boys are going to smash up these Crystal Palace Melts. Let's talk about the team news then going into the game. So Manchester United, oh shit, I've actually got the team news up already on the screen there, haven't I? Didn't mean to have that there, guys, but it's there. So this is my prediction for the team for tomorrow. The reason why there's no Martial and that Weghorst is in there is because Martial's crap. Not because he's injured, but because he's actually crap. And he's fucking used us. And if anybody out of all the players recently has underwhelmed, it's Martial. Well, Anelanga, I suppose, but he's not got as big a role in the team, so it's not fair. Martial is the biggest melter of the moment. Now, I've got a bit of time for Martial, but he's the ultimate sulk. He's the incredible sulk. And that's the problem with him. It's like when he gets angry, you wouldn't like him when he's angry because he starts to sulk. That's the problem. Dr. Anthony Banner, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't know. But whatever happens with Martial when his confidence is low, it doesn't seem like he's going to get himself out of that slump easy. He's a proper confidence player. So because he's in gash form at the moment, doesn't make sense to really play him in a game like this. Maybe let him fight his way back into the side just like anybody else based on form. So also Ten Hag in his press conference before this game did say that Tony Martial's fitness is a big concern. He said there were concerns over his fitness after, of course, he withdrew at half-time in the previous game. And to quote Ten Hag, he said, "I hope to avoid Martial getting injured by bringing him off." He was complaining, so that's why he also didn't train in the week and why he was a question mark. He and we both decided that he had to start because his start would be so important in this game against City with his pace, especially with pressing. He is really good and he's a really big element in our pressing. I needed that before half-time. We decided, and he decided as well, he begged to start because I knew the start would be so important in this game, especially because he's really good with his pressing. He's a really big element in our pressing. He is good at pressing, he runs around a bit. But you know what? He's lazy on the track back and he's also shite in the air and he's also not really got a clinical eye for goal. So, nobody's perfect, but he's far from perfect anyway. But he said, we decided, he said, also you saw he's not capable to go 100%, and that's what you need. To avoid him getting injured, we took him off, and it also had an impact on our game, a negative impact after half-time. Did it? I don't know. Did it really have a negative impact? I suppose it did. The first 20 minutes of that second half against City were not great, actually. But you know what? Long term, I don't think it really did, because he just didn't pose us any threat whatsoever. So I did not know the reason he took him off at half-time last game was because he had a little knock. I assumed it was because Martial was playing like absolute gash on a stick. And he wasn't performing well, he wasn't taking his chances, and he was basically pretty invisible again. So I don't know, but maybe this is Ten Hag's nice way of saying, you're dropped, son. He's trying to protect the player here. He's basically saying that he's got a knock and he's injured and he's doing all that sort of stuff, and it may not be 100% ready or healed for the next game. But I think he's just preparing Tony Martial here for, for the fact that Weghorst is probably going to start in the game. So we do have a new player, which is Weghorst, who's just signed. There's some speculation as to whether or not he'll be ready to play in this game. But because of what's going on with Tony Martial, I personally feel like it's possible that it will happen. Martial was shit, says Jonathan Gallagher. Martial's a good player. He has got, intelligence, vision, and he can score you a goal sometimes. But he is a confidence player, and unless he's flying, he's pretty invisible out there. I don't know, I know he might be doing stuff for the team, but you need to do stuff for the team and score goals as Manchester United's number 9. That's the reality. Now, it's cool if Rashford's scoring goals and You know, a couple other people scoring goals, but your number 9's there to score you some goals. So you better be scoring more goals than this Anthony Martial than what he's been doing lately. Okay, so in regards to the team lineup, that's what I think is going to be the case. Let's ask the live chat, who would you like to see start at number 9 tomorrow? Weghorst, Martial, maybe even Rashford, maybe even Marky Rashford getting in there at number 9 with Garnacho on the left or something crazy like that. I mean, Rashford's super important for what we're trying to do. Vegadonna says Berber. Your birthday today, pal. Oh, shit. Oh, no. The bloody thing's lagged. You're going to have to give it a refresh, peeps. I don't know what's happened there. Things lagged out there. That's absolutely gash. All right, anyway. Okay, most people saying Weghorst. Tony Martial, still a good player for the squad. I don't think we should chuck him away right now. Certainly not until we can get somebody better. But Weghorst is the man because we've seen Tony recently and he's just not really looked that clinical in front of goal. So Weghorst has just come in. There's a bit of hype about him. You know, if you look at his record, it's pretty average. He's a Dutch journeyman and he's coming here for a little journey at the end of his career. Hopefully it's a good journey and hopefully he does score us some goals and be a good focal point. He'll definitely give us something different because he couldn't be more fire and ice of a different type of player than Tony Martial. So he is totally different on the spectrum of, you know, different types of forwards. So that is good news. He should hopefully be coming in there and hopefully he will have a very, very good performance, guys. But a man who is very much important for us is the main man, Marky Rashford. There's question marks about whether or not he'll be starting as well. There is some concerns. Let's face it, he did actually look like he was going to get substituted off with an injury in the last game. That was a horrible moment when Rashford's just fallen down on the ground and he's just, you know, he's actually seeming like he's picked up an injury. Thankfully, he was able to carry on the game and get over that little bit of pain, and he did score the winner. So it was definitely a good day out in the end. But has he picked up some sort of knock? Still question marks about Marky Rashford. But if he's even remotely fit, you've got to start him. You've got to play him. Like on this team lineup, you can see in the right corner there, I was thinking about maybe just having Weghorst up top with Garnacho on the left-hand side, because Garnacho came on and played really well. You could reward him with a start. But with Weghorst making his debut, it's a little bit uncertain. You want your players firing. You want all your players on the pitch who are in great form at the moment and who are getting the job done for you week to week. So Marcus Rashford starting the game at least makes sense to me. You could always take him off a bit later on. And if he's not fit, obviously he can't start the game. But if he's anywhere near fit, you've got to play him because he's just going to probably get on the score sheet and get you a goal. So I hope he does start. Let's just take a look at Marcus Rashford's statistics this season real quick, peeps. You what? This guy's having an absolutely formidable, incredible season, has to be said. Let's take a look at his statistics. I've got them in front of me right here. So, in the Premier League this season, he's played 18 appearances, played 1,441 minutes. He scored 8 goals and assisted 3 times. So, a contribution of 11 goals in 18 games from the wide area, by the way, from the wing. You know, and to be fair, that's over the course of the whole season. We were struggling at the start of the season, and so was he. So it actually, form-wise, just recently, incredible, impeccable. Can't get much better than the sort of consistency that Marcus Rashford's showing. 9 goals in 9 home games says everything, really. He's got 4 goals in 3 in the EFL Cup. So 4 goals in 3 games this season in the EFL Cup for us, helping us get to the semis. He's got 1 in the FA Cup in 1 appearance and 2 assists in that game. He's got 3 in the Europa League, plus 1 assist in 4 appearances. Now, it doesn't take a genius to work out. These are pretty fucking monumental numbers this guy's putting up. He is finally where we wanted him to be. And so that's why you've got to start him, because he's just in incredible form. He's so dangerous. He'll probably win you the game as long as he's on the pitch. That's the sort of form that he's in right now. So yeah, those stats are pretty incredible. Long may it continue. Come on, Marcus. Mate, born and bred, my son. And he's doing us proud at the minute. So great to see Marcus Rashford doing what he does. I think he's got to start. There is some fitness doubts about whether or not he will start. What do you reckon, guys? Do you think Marcus Rashford starts or is on the bench? He may well be on the bench. You could see him change something, especially if Rashford's got a bit of a knock. And he did fall over in the last game and looked like he was injured, but then he wasn't. So let's call him Rashnaldo, says Rajat. Rest him, says Berber. Start, says RFJ. Bench, says Ezio. Bench, says K Slater. How you doing there, K Slater, my son? 78 likes. Thank you, Rushmano, for the likes tally there. Everyone smash that like button. Let's get this sucker to 100 likes. We've got 146 legends in here. Let's have a Bacon Brigade like spike. See if we can break 100. Nice one. What's up, Chris Koo? Bent, says Susan. Veg on the bench, says Rajat. Marcus Start, says Pete Morris. What's up, Chris Koo, lad? Must play, says Rest. Okay, so bit split in the live chat there. Either or, really. If he's not fit, if he's not 100%, yeah, rest him, I guess, if he's got a bit of a knock. Otherwise, if he's close to fit, you've got to have him on the pitch because he's just going to be so dangerous. There's a lot of talking points about Marcus Rashford in general at the moment, so not just the incredible form that he's in, but also the fact that, well, his contract's running down and Manchester United have to get a new contract for this guy very, very soon. Now, it has to be done, in my opinion. Like, we can't let this guy go somewhere else for nothing. Man United just have to basically give him a new 5-year contract. And we're reportedly prepared to offer him a new 5-year contract at the moment as well, which makes sense, obviously, because we can't possibly be letting our Manc born and bred player, who's actually our match winner, go at the moment either. And he's only 25. So we've developed him up to this point. He's got the best years of his career to come. So, of course, Manchester United have to keep hold of him. But he's been at United his whole career, obviously. And with Ten Hag coming in, he seems to have revitalised him and just got him right back on the right track. I hope we hear about an announcement of a Marcus Rashford contract being signed very soon. Now, I don't even want to think about how much money it would be for, because he's already on, by some accounts, 200k a week or 250k a week, isn't it? Or somewhere in that region. It's a ridiculous amount of money that Marcus Rashford's on as a young man. But he is 25 now. He's turning into a senior player at the club. And aside from that, he's actually turning into somebody we can rely on to be consistent and perform and maybe win you some games. So for those reasons, I would say that he is worth giving a bit of a pay rise to. Let's ask the live chat. How much do you think Marcus Rashford is worth to Manchester United per week? Bearing in mind all of the other players that are paid X amount at the football club. I mean, I don't see how you can give him a new contract that's less than like 275k a week now. Sounds crazy. He's not really worth that, is he? But the only problem is that it's like you can't let him go for free. Somebody could pay him 400k a week and get him for free. So he's going to want more money. He's already on a couple $100,000 a week. So, where's the you're talking about him signing a 5-year deal for his upcoming best years of his career from 25 to 30. So if he's going to sign that deal at Manchester United for 5 years, it's going to be a pretty big deal, I think. Wrongly, but I think it will be a pretty big deal. 200k max, says Farabi. 300k, says Pete Morris. Sancho's on 350 a week, says Stoic Savage. Right, there you go. 250, says Matthew. 150, says FJT. 175, says Rajat. 200, says Kate Cadet. 300, says Stoic. 275, says Michael. Okay, so most of us are in the right ballpark. I think really, if we're being honest, he is worth 200 grand a week. He's in incredible form right now, but, this only this last few months. Like, before that, you wouldn't be talking about even thinking about giving him a deal worth 250 grand a week or 275 grand a week. Now, though, that's kind of what he's worth. It's not that I think he's worth less than that, but in terms of weekly wages, but also his impact at Manchester United this season is undeniable. He's in a very strong position where he could go and get more money probably by going to a different football club. He might have to go play in a shite French farmers league in order to do so, but he could definitely go somewhere on a free and get paid huge amounts of money. I hope that he wants to stay at Manchester United, and I hope that Manchester United want him to stay enough to make him a pretty highly paid player and keep him. I don't begrudge Marcus Rashford or any of the players, any young players at Manchester United making money, as long as they're earning that money. If he's making 275k a week, but he's playing like he's playing now, it's a bargain. It's money well spent. If he consistently performs like this for the next few years, it's a bargain. So, it's all about earning your money. 500k looks cheap if you're bagging a goal every single game, but 100k is too much if you're Phil Jones and you're sat around putting gurn in faces, making cups of tea for people. It doesn't justify his the expenditure. Whereas Rashford so far this season absolutely has justified the expenditure, and we're going to have to sign him up to a new deal at some point. You wish they did performance-based contracts. That would be brilliant, wouldn't it, Dean? Yeah. Add a goal bonus in the contract. I like your style, Rajat. There you go. So you can always do things like that to sweeten the deal a little bit more. Maybe keep him on 200 grand a week, but give him a nice cheeky little goal bonus. Incentivize him even more to bag those goals. It doesn't seem like it's a problem for him right now. Okay, so Marcus Rashford is in incredible form. I'm loving what I'm seeing, guys. This goal record is brilliant. 8 in the Premier League in 18, 3 assists, 4 in the League Cup in 3 games, 1 in 1 in the FA Cup, and 3 in 4 in the Europa League with an assist. Incredible stats. Long live the king. That's what I say. He's not the king, obviously. There's only one king. But you know what I'm saying? Rashford is a brilliant, brilliant form player right now for us. And he will bag tomorrow. Whether it's starting in the game or whether he comes off the bench. I'm calling it now. The loins have been fizzing and tingling, and Marcus Rashford gets on the score sheet again, guys. That's right. That's what I'm calling. Whether it's off the bench or starting the game, I think Rashford scores. He's just whatever he touches right now is turning into gold. Whereas Tony Martial, on the other hand, whatever he's touching is just turning into raw shite. But Rashford's turning things into gold. He's got that Midas touch at the moment. Whereas Martial's more like Medusa with a bunch of fucking steak heads. Take one look at him, you turn to stone. That's what Slabby Maguire did. Just ask him. He looked him in the eyes. Now look at him. So, you know, but no, seriously. He does have the Midas touch right now, Rashford. Whatever he touches turns to gold. Turning to dust, says Rajab. Okay. So another player I want to talk about as possibly featuring in the game is Alejandro Garnacho. Just call my name, just call my name. Alejandro, just call my name, just call my name. Garnacho, Alejandro. Sorry guys, but this kid is absolutely incredible. Just new reports come in actually today, guys, that Garnacho's camp have turned down Manchester United's latest offer of a £25,000 a week contract. However, current talks are positive and relaxed. So, you know, there's talks of clubs in Spain being interested in hijacking this guy when his contract runs out at the end of next summer. Garnacho came on the game against City at 19 years of age and won the game for us, or helped win the game for us, certainly with a brilliant moment of magic. Just absolutely done him, didn't he? He's got that ability just to drop a shoulder, to beat a defender. It doesn't really matter how old you are. He's just got it. So he's a big part of the team already in terms of the squad, and having an extra player who's really quality to come on and make stuff happen sometimes, or to start in certain games when you need to rotate. So he's already quite an important player for us. We were just talking about how much Rashford is worth per week. Most people said about 200k. I said 275 max. But let's just ask the live chat, how much do you think Alejandro Garnacho is worth to Manchester United as a 19-year-old lad with the talent he's got and the future he's possibly going to have? You know, he's got to be getting 50 G's a week, baby. Dana, 50 G's, baby. He might only be a kid, but he's also really good. And you can't really, you know, you can't have him going elsewhere. So you've got to keep him happy. You've got to keep him sweet. You can't give him a 150k deal right now. That's way too much. He's barely done anything. But from the talent he's got alone, he deserves to be made happy, at least. You know what I mean? I mean, if Phil Jones on 100 grand a week, it's rude for Alejandro Garnacho to be on 25 grand a week. You know what I'm saying? Atkins21, thank you for the microphone super sticker. Let's get a microphone emoji in the live chat there for him. Thank you, Atkins. I appreciate you, boss. And also, Chris Koo sent a super chat in. It's a hear no evil, speak no evil, see no evil equals starry-eyed face set of emojis. Nice one there, Chris Koo. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Don't really know what you're on about. But much love to you, Chris Koo, you legend. Let's get some love hearts in there for those two guys. Hi there, Dilly Hill. How's it going, bud? Pete Morris thinks 70k, 100k Garnacho to keep him, says Dutch Christ. Well, that's just too much, isn't it? That's too much. Too much too soon. 35k, max 50, says Rajat. 40-ish, says Palmaris. 50k, Defo, says Eamon. Yeah, he's definitely worth that to us. And in 2 years' time or 3 years' time, I've just got a feeling, based on how he's progressing and just the feeling I've got about him developing as a player, I think in 2-3 years' time, when his contract's running down, there's 2 or 3 years left, and he's maybe got a much bigger part to play in the squad, maybe even in a year's time, they'll have to renegotiate that contract, because I think it'll be soon enough that he's making a mockery of a 50k a week deal compared to what a lot of these other melts have played around world football. So he's a great talent. Yes, he's not got a big role in this squad right now. He needs to be developed slowly but surely and correctly. But in a year or two, he will be an absolute baller. and we'll be lucky to have him on a 50k contract. So yeah, pay the money, get him done, get it done. But hopefully he will feature in the game tomorrow as well. It's a good opportunity for him again to come off the bench, make something happen, you know, impress, get the game time. That's what I'm doing now if I'm Ten Hag. It's like certain games, even tomorrow against Palace. Palace away, it's in the Premier League. We're trying to win the Premier League this season. That's what Ten Hag's objective should be anyway. It's very difficult, but that's what his objective should be. So if that's his objective, he's got to go into every single game, which he has been doing, with a completely professional mentality, not just, oh, we're going to try out Garnacho or try this young lad or do this and do that. If it calls for it, fine. But I think that tomorrow you've got to start with Rashford, Bruno, Anthony, and Weghorst up top there, just to give us that confidence, that experience, that form as well. And then Alejandro Garnacho can be introduced later on in the game and probably will tear them up late on, because he's just that type of player. So there you go. Give him some bonuses as well. Give him a 50k contract. Give him some bonuses. Sweeten him up, and let's get this sucker signed up for a 10-year contract. You know, like, he's got incredible years of development ahead of him. He's already affecting things in a very good way, and he's only a kid. Then again, what I would say is, it's like, not all youngsters do develop into the player you think they're going to develop into, and other players really do exceed your expectations there. So a good example would be, well, I mean, Elanga at the moment, he's still young actually, but like, he went from looking like very good to looking absolutely headless chicken worthy all season this season, to be fair to him. He's not looked good. So it depends, doesn't it? Like, you know, progression is one thing. You've got to keep progressing. You've got to keep working hard. You don't want these guys to get, you know, ideas above their station. You want them to remain grounded and keep professional and keep working to try and strive to be the best player they can possibly be, whether that's in 5 years or 10 years. They want to keep progressing, you know. Say what about Cristiano Ronaldo, and at the end he's shown himself to be an egotistical little melter of a man. But I tell you something, in terms of professionalism and hard work throughout his career, up until him turning into an old man and being bitter and egotistical, when he was younger, that's who you should model your career on. Just work hard work. Keep trying to grow, keep trying to progress and learn every single day of school day. That's what these young kids like Alejandro Garnacho need to do. Anyway, 95 likes, says Rushmano. Get in there, everybody. Thanks for hitting that like button. We're about halfway through the preview now. Seems like a good little juncture here for you guys to smash the shit out of the like button. That's that one that looks like a thumb. Give it a big thumbs up if you haven't done so. Also, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. We're on here daily giving you all the latest United news and goings on. So make sure you subscribe and click the bell icon too. Nice one. Help us get to 70,000 subscribers. Tom Cleverley is a player that never hit heights. Yeah, exactly. Atkins 21. Tom Cleverley, Danny Welbeck. You know, lots of players progressing very well from a young age and just never really turn out. For whatever reason, maybe they like to party. Maybe they get to a certain point and they're like, hey, you know what? I've made it. I'm getting the biggest contract I'm ever going to get. Might as well just sack it off and just have an easy life, not be competitive. You've either got that competitive streak like a Ronaldo, or you don't. If you look at something like, you know, Lee Sharp, he could have been a lot more than he actually was. Lee Sharp threw it away to a degree. You know, ended up playing for fucking Bradford after United and stuff. So, you know, like, you've got to say he could have been so much more though. Definitely, there's lots of people, lots of examples like that of players who, you know, could have gone on to do much better things, but just didn't because they didn't have the right mentality. We look at a couple of melters at United as well, like you know, when Alexis Sanchez came in, or people just get their big payday. Dele Alli over at Tottenham. Dele Alli's a prime example over at Tottenham of somebody that was on the trajectory to turn into one of the best players around, one of the best English players around, definitely. When there was a season of a few years, or at least a couple of seasons, where he was unplayable. You know, I remember watching Spurs going, fucking hell, this Dele Alli kid means he's going to be something, he is. Because he was winning them games, he was being quality, he was working hard. Now look at him. You know, his mentality's all wrong. So that's the most important thing. It's all well and good having the ambition, it's all well and good having the ability and the skill and the talent. But if you don't actually work hard, then it only means so much. The reason why Messi and Ronaldo and those guys are the best, yes, they've got incredible talent and some of it's God-given, physically or mentally, whatever. But also both of them work just about as hard as anybody. So that's why they are where they are. Januzaj is a great example. Rajavi fucking Januzaj. My goodness me. Ravel Morrison, what a great shout that is as well, Berber. Yeah, what a shit house. Anderson, well, you know, actually Anderson, I kind of disagree because I kind of always knew Anderson was a bit of a gash player. If anything, he exceeded expectations, you know what I mean? If anything, he did more than I thought he was going to do. Jemba, says Rajat. Pato, yeah. Exactly. So, guys, you know what I'm saying. So, these guys keep their feet on the ground, develop as they are. Ten Hag will take care of them, get them signed up to a new deal, and there you go. Okay, so, so let's just get back into this then. So, just a bit of preview news in regards to Weghorst. That's probably something that most people are interested in. He's now done his full interview, which was released this morning on manunited.com in regards to the signing for the club, and he's basically absolutely loving it. He's loving it, and he said it's kind of the right moment for him at 30 years of age. I think it is the right moment for him to come to Manchester United because over the last few years he's developed into a player that everyone's sort of talking about and knows, and is in a good spell. Whereas before that, you go back 10 years. Nobody knows who the toss this guy is. So in terms of him being in a good moment to join us, he is in a good moment. His stock's reasonably high. He's on the back of the World Cup. He's also, experienced. And he's coming here with experience. He's coming here to provide us something different. He'll probably be quite good for us, I think, guys, just in terms of something different. He was asked if he's, how much you're looking forward to being back in the league. And he said, really, for me, it was not done. It was not finished. It didn't work out the first time as I hoped. I'm really hungry to show myself, to help the team. Of course, we're on a really good track now. The last couple of weeks, months, actually, it's going really positive here. And I just want to contribute, to give my best and give my all for the club and try to be part of a successful direction we're going. Go on, Vooty Weghorst. Fucking love it, my son. So yes, he says he'll be visiting the Dutch guys, Donny van der Beek, Tyrell Assia. For the rest, he didn't know any guys. He played against some of them. But they go for the first 3 days, a really great and warm welcome he's received at the football club. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So his personal ambitions at United, this was what he said when he was asked about his personal ambitions at Manchester United. He said, trophies. That's quite easy. Trophies. And that's also what the manager told me about, the expectations that are there, also my role. And yeah, that's also something I want to bring. So he's going to be bringing a different sort of role to the football club as a big, tall, long, strong, hold up, header man who can head the ball, all that sort of stuff. He's different to Tony in every single way. So it's good in that sense. Hey, Wessex Mercier, thank you again, bro, for getting in here and sending in a super chat, Wessex. Dudes, let's get some hashtag Earl of Wessex in the live chat for the lad. He says, have you heard about the BBC noise fail today? I did, mate. Roshmano sent me a clip of it, mate. That's fucking hilarious, bro. So the BBC, for anybody that missed it, the BBC broadcasting the game. Was it the Wolves game? I don't even know what game it was. I think it was the Wolves game, right? It must have been. And they're broadcasting that. And I didn't watch it, but they're broadcasting it. And somebody's hacked or basically just taken over one of their speakers via the internet or via Bluetooth or via Wi-Fi or whatever the case may be, and hacked some sort of device. And in the background, you just hear this, that sort of stuff going on in the BBC studio. And Gary Lineker's there, all fucking smiley face like a schoolboy, red face in there, and it's just fucking hilarious, man. Yeah, really, that happened, guys. Really, that happened. Hit a phone in the studio. That's what it is it? Nice one. Rushmano says somebody hit a phone in the studio and then proceeded to, I guess, phone the phone or whatever, and that had that as their ringtone, whatever it was. But either way, all that stuff, that classic sound when somebody says, hey, open this, and when you're at work or whatever, it's like, open this, and you open it, it goes, it's like that. It was Paul Ince's phone, says Case. Oh, hiding the phone has to be Ashley Cole. Oh, brilliant stuff. Anyway, so that's pretty funny, guys. Yeah, good to see that. They put it on YouTube when they called the phone, says Rushmana. Oh, yeah, I know. It's absolutely fucking class. I haven't seen that one, actually. I know you sent me that. And I didn't have time before setting the stream up to watch that. But I did see the clip of the thing. But I need to watch that one then, bud. So there's actually from the POV of the people doing it. Got to watch that, mate. Got to watch that. That's a funny one. Anyway, so I like that. That's a bit of class. That is just a bit of banter right there. It's a bit of banter. Anyway, he's excited to play for Ten Hag, by the way. He said in regards to Ten Hag, you know, you're looking to emulate your goal scoring at Besiktas under Ten Hag. He said, he wants to score goals here. I'm a striker. I think every striker knows that you're living to score goals. That's the thing we've been working all week for, to get it done in the weekend, and that's definitely something I want to achieve here. Goals-wise, I wonder what sort of an impact he's going to have. I do think he's going to come in and score tomorrow. Just got a feeling. I've predicted 3-1. I think Rashford will get on the score sheet, and I also do think Weghorst will get on the score sheet as well. Genuinely, it's the perfect game for him. We're gonna be dominant. He's gonna get a lot of crosses into him. He's a big lad. I think he'll get on the score sheet, guys. In terms of the goals that he will score this season for Manchester United, though, let's just talk in the Premier League. Let's not talk about any other competitions right now, because depends how far we get, how many games there could be. Let's just talk about the Premier League. We know there's about 20 games left, right? Have Man United played 18 or 19 now? Let's take a look. We've played 18. So we've played 18. So there's literally 20 games left. How many Premier League goals does Wout Weghorst score between now and the end of the season, folks? Have your say. So I'm going to be kind of a little bit cynical here because, well, I'm looking at his previous record. He's not the most clinical. He's worth about 1 in 2. I think he's going to get 8 Premier League goals this season and a bunch of other ones as well. So I'm actually going quite low. Let's see what you guys are saying. 6 says Chloe Jenkins. How you doing there, Chloe? 5 goals for the horse, says Case Later. But yes, as I say, once again, remember though, he's not expected to be going in there every single game, starting every single game. Martial still will be playing in certain games, definitely at number 9. Also, you may see a rotation elsewhere, Rashford or something else, who knows. So there will be other goal scorers. It's not just, Weghorst, he probably won't play 20 games. But he will score a bunch of goals and contribute to us, I think. And 8 goals in 20, if let's say that's what he could possibly do, I think that'd be very, very good. That'd be very good for a signing that we're just getting in on the cheap as a January stopgap, pretty much. 8 says Jordan Wall, 12 says Gaming Sim, 9 says Football Dreamer, 12 says Old Professor, 7 says Beefy Bully, Susan reckons 6, Dilly says 9, Charlie says 10, 35 goals says Kevin Kilbert. Okay. Little bit optimistic there, my son, but I like your style. 19 games and 16 goals, says Nesco. You what? I'll tell you something now. If Weghorst scores nearly a goal a game between now and the end of the season, I will eat my own hat. Right, guys? The Don Piglioni one. I'll eat it with a knife and fork with a bit of Tommy sauce if he gets a goal a game. Anything above 5 is okay. Yeah, that's it. He's just coming in as a rotation player, I think. I think there's probably maybe a bit more emphasis on it because we signed him in January and Martial's not doing that great. But really, he's coming in to share the responsibility of scoring goals. He's not coming in to score all the goals. This isn't a Zlatan Ibrahimovic signing or a Robin van Persie signing. He's just coming in to contribute some goals and help the team and maybe even help other people score goals as well. Because like we've talked about, he is a good hold-up man. He can play off of him a bit, you know. He can win balls in the air and bring others into play with headers and create goal-scoring opportunities for his teammates as well. So that's what we're sort of getting with him. Premier League 4, all competitions, you say 9, says Disco Dave. Codex says, is there an option to buy him, do you know? Well, there's always an option to buy him, but right now it is just a straight loan deal from what I understand. He will break Haaland's record, says Nesco. 10 in all competitions, you think? 6 in the Prem, says Palmarius. Hello there, Solitude Guard. I'm not too shabby, mate. Thanks for asking. How are you getting on? Design Pattern says, he's a target man. Yes, so who will be crossing them in? Rashford, Anthony? Yeah, exactly. Rashford, Anthony, Bruno. I can imagine the wing backs as well, people like Shaw, loving having that target man up there to whip those balls into when he gets down the left. And you've got big Vuti Weghorst in there. But also Rashford, yeah, Anthony. I mean, people saying, Anthony can't cross. Well, he's got a bit of a shit right boot, but he can certainly. I mean, it's one of those, isn't it? It kind of plays in your favour or against you. It depends how the opposition play it. If they know what you're going to do, then they can stop you doing it. But if they think you're going to do something, but you do the opposite, then that's a surprise, isn't it? So, like, as soon as they worked Anthony out, we have to change. That's how it goes. Chloe Jenkins, thank you for the £2 super chat there, Chloe. Let's get a Sue in there for the super chat. Thank you, Chloe. Comments and says, I believed Eric Ten Hag has signed him more for his pressing, says Chloe Jenkins. Interesting. Okay, fair enough. Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, he's coming in here. Yeah, he's coming in to be a team player. It's a fair point you make there, Chloe. I don't think he has signed him to score 20 and 20 or be a complete clinical goal scorer. You're right. He's brought him in to do other things for the team, hold it up, be a physical player, like pressing, but also physical, like muscling people and that sort of stuff in the box. It's important to have players who can do that. Martial's very much standoffish, very passive, very doesn't like a physical battle as much as some, because, well, he's French. Hey, Big Bet 2023, get in there, you legend. He comments and says, hopefully Weghorst can hold the ball up and bring Anthony, Rashford, Bruno into the game. That's what I'm saying, my son, absolutely. Ping it up to Veggie. He turns it back, my son. He holds it up. Meanwhile, you've got lightning and thunder flying down the left and right-hand side. And he's just got to pick one of them out, mate. Or pop it off to Bruno to find that pass. And then, before you know it, the centre-backs, they're dealing with Weghorst. But the runners are in behind. That's what we're dealing with here. He can help others in the team as well. I still have concerns over Martial. He cannot stay fit for more than 2 games. Precisely. And that's exactly why we needed to get somebody like this in who's different, but also is robust and can cover for Martial when he's not fit. Like this game tomorrow, Ten Hag's talked about the fact that Tony is probably a fitness concern. That's it. He's not trained this week. He's came off at half-time the last game. So, yeah, he's always a concern. Crystal Palace 2 goals, says Nesco. Oh, hell no. Hey, Stu, what's going on, babe? He says, Palace fan here. Tomorrow night isn't going to be it for you guys. If you guys will... Oh, sorry. He says, tomorrow night isn't going to be if you guys will win. It will be how many you win by. I think you're probably right, Stu. You never know. Football's a funny old game. It's like one of these games... We're bound to lose at some point. There's got to be an upset at some point. We've been on a good run now. So we have to get an upset at some point. Crystal Palace, well, I don't think it's going to be the game. It could be, but just on paper, going into the game with the players we've got in the form that they've got, what Ten Hag's doing, the fixtures, the results, everything, the whole package right now, I would be surprised if we don't obliterate Crystal Palace. It's not beyond the realms of possibility that they beat us, but no, I mean, I bet my left bollock on it right now. I bet my left bollock on Manchester United beating Crystal Palace. Definitely. Hey, Shane McCarthy, what is going on? We need cover for Casemiro, says Alkan Mahmout. Yeah, I mean, I still would love us to sign somebody. I think we've got cover for Casemiro, personally. People might not think the cover we've got is good enough. Fred is kind of cover, isn't he? Fred might be better box to box, but he is still able to cover, in a CDM role as a backup. So if you've got Casemiro starting every single game, we'll hope for that. If he's not fit, that's awful. You're right. We probably would do with better player elsewhere. But what we should do is go and buy a better box-to-box player. Somebody, like Bellingham, for instance, who's got a great future ahead of him as well. That would be my ideal scenario, who can do a bit of both, who can win the ball back for you, but who can get forward, score goals, create. That's what I like to see. Casemiro is irreplaceable. Totally agree. That's it. Like, we've got the best CDM in world football. How do you go and get somebody else? Yeah, Declan Rice. Okay, if we got Declan Rice, that's brilliant. Casemiro is 30, to be fair. Declan Rice is young, 23. So, obviously, that would make sense to go and get someone like that who's possibly going to develop into one of the next best CDMs in world football. But we don't need to improve upon Casemiro. Casemiro's a stalwart for the side now. If he's fit, he's staying in the team. Even if he's only 75% he plays. He's that good. So, yes, I agree with you. Maybe focus on a different area slightly, the midfield. You like Bellingham, yeah, definitely, Matthew. The only problem is with Bellingham is, will Manchester United be able to get them? If we've got new owners in the summer and they're prepared to spend big in the summer and we've won something, perhaps let's just say the unthinkable happens. We win, I don't know, we win the Europa League or we win the Premier League. Imagine if we win the Premier League. That's a pretty good situation to be in to attract the top talent. Lookout Studios, what's going on, bro? Second, what does that say? Second account or something? Lookout Studios, mate. Thank you for getting in with your £5 super sticker of a lemon sat with a crying pear. That's not a pear, actually, is it? What is that green thing? It sort of looks like an orange, but green. But Lookout Studios, hey there, my friend. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Let's get some love in there for Lookout. Appreciate that, my man. Dudes, 200 legends in the stream tonight. That's awesome, guys. Good to see you all here. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. We're going to be doing the watch along tomorrow night for the game as well. Get yourself in here. We'll start about half an hour before kickoff. And also just subscribe for daily updates in regards to Manchester United. We cover all the latest breaking news in a no bullshit manner. We don't just get on here and pump out clickbait guff for the sake of it. If there is no news, there will be no video. But if there is news, there will be a video. So make sure you click the old bell icon. That way, when there is news, you don't miss a notification. And also smash the like and smash the subscribe and help us get to 70,000 subscribers. Nice one. Okay. Weghorst going to smash them up. Come on, Lookout Studios. I'm loving the hype. It's lemon and lime pig. Oh, of course it is, Palmaris. Of course it is. Bloody lemon and lime. Of course it is, mate. Right, okay, anyway. It's this weird turquoise looking lime, though. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, limes aren't turquoise, are they? Let's be fair. Okay, so anyway, what were we talking about? We're talking about Weghorst. I think he's a good signing. I don't think he's a great signing, but for what we need and for our purposes, for now, until the Glazer shithouses are gone and then we can invest money and buy a real striker, that's what we want. I mean, he's not Ruud van Nistelrooy. He's actually asked about Dutch players in the interview that was dropped this morning. He said, you are now the 19th player from the Netherlands to represent this club. And United have a rich history of legendary Dutch players from Robin van Persie to Ruud van Nistelrooy and Jaap Stam. Have you followed their journeys and their time at United? He said, yeah, of course. Then for me as a striker, Ruud van Nistelrooy and Robin van Persie, of course he followed them. He was a younger kid to see their games, their matches, these goals, the combination, the fans in the stadium. There are things that I definitely remember and definitely memories in my head. And he wants to, he wants to emulate these guys. He's not going to, because those guys are about 10 times better than him. But, that is pretty interesting. We do seem to have this affinity with the Netherlands at Manchester United. I wonder what the table looks like. I mean, obviously we've got a lot of domestic homegrown players, Irish players, Scottish players. But beyond that, I wonder which nations have been most represented by Manchester United in the Premier League or in this history of the football club altogether. Because you think about German players, for whatever reason, German players, we've had bloody one. We've had one German player, which was Schweinsteiger. I can't think of another one German player. Can you? One German, yet we've had 19 Dutch players in the team. Quite interesting, that. Just pretty interesting. Didn't come to turn out like Van der Beek. Hey, Design Pattern says, Pig, you still haven't answered. I didn't know. I didn't see your message, Design Pattern. Sorry, buddy. He said, Weghorst or Depay. Who would you have picked? Depay was past the top La Liga scorer of 12 last year and worse side than this year. For what we need right now, I would have taken Weghorst. Because I personally think that Memphis is quite similar to most of what we've got right now, whereas Weghorst is something very different. Memphis is, he's more of a left winger. He can play up striker, of course, centre forward, but I think of him as a left winger. I don't want, I've seen his stats. I know he had a decent record at Barca in terms of goal rate, but I don't really watch a lot of La Liga, to be totally honest. But he doesn't impress me because, I know he's developed a lot since the last time he was here. Last time he was here, he was a big flop. And I just wouldn't really, I feel better with the unknown entity that is Weghorst than the known melter that is Memphis. But it's a good question, though. Let's ask the live chat. Who would you have signed if you could have brought one player in here in a temporary basis or short term for Manchester United? Who would it have been? Would it have been Memphis Depay or would it have been Weghorst? For me, it is Weghorst only because he gives us something totally different. I feel like Memphis is very similar to a lot of the other players we've got. Similar to Martial or similar to, some of the melters. Harry Kane, says Jonathan Gallagher. Okay, well, semi-realistic would be nice. We don't need to go back for ex-girlfriend, says Rajat. Robert Zieler was the other German player, Pig. Oh, okay then, interesting. Who the fuck is that guy? But fair play to you though, mate. That's a good bit of knowledge right there, Lookout Studio. So 2 Germans, okay. So yeah, still though, you know what I mean? They're like, we've had a lot of Dutch players. We just love a Dutchie at United, don't we? Felix says Gaming Sim. Oh, okay, yeah, fair play. Fair play. Well, if the price was right, We may have got him. It's not my money. I don't care. So yeah, I would have got him too. Number 3 says Weghorst. Chris says Veggie. Veggie says Susan. Depay says Matthew Chapman. 1 Phoenix, 2 Veggie says Rajat. Weghorst says Pete Morris. Felix, he can play 10 wing striker and his upside is outrageously good. Yeah, I'm with you, K-Slater. That's it. He would have been very versatile for us. He's not really an out-and-out number 9, but he can definitely play there. What's good about him is he's a creator. Say Bruno gets an injury, you would have been very happy to have him, to have Felix, because then you're sorted. Now, if Bruno gets injured, we are mishmashing some players in positions where they're not 100% used to playing, etc. if that happens, because Donny van der Beek's injured. So who comes in and plays if Bruno's injured at CAM? It's probably like, don't know. Don't even trying to think of something. That's what I mean. We've got a few problems there. Google says 1, says Big Bear. Oh, okay. Ericsson, oh shit. Guys, Christian Eriksen, what is the matter with me? What is the matter with you? If arguably Christian Eriksen's best position is at CAM. Sorry, I'm just having an absolute melt job there. You're absolutely right. Christian Eriksen would go in there, but it would mean this though. It would mean this. It would mean that we would be weakened significantly elsewhere in the team, because having Eriksen and Casemiro in the midfield duo is what gives us a solid base and that technical ability to keep hold of the ball well and play it out well, etc. That's why we're so decent at the moment, because of those two. I think if you disrupt that and put Fred in or McTominay in alongside Casemiro, you're asking for trouble. So it would have been better to have João Felix still. But yes, Eriksen, great shout. I forgot about that. Push Eriksen into Cam. Yeah, totally forgot about that. But it still weakens our team, though. It does weaken our team. Yeah, Game and Sim, you'll cry if McTominay plays. 129 likes. Let's see if we can get 150 by the end of the show then, guys. How long have we been going for here? Fucking hell, man. Time flies when you're having fun talking to the Bacon Brigade. Nearly an hour. Crikey. Anyway, so I'm not going to read all of Weghorst's interview out to you. You guys can go and watch his interview. But he said all the right positive things. I hope he has a good start. Tomorrow he probably will start because of these fitness concerns with Tony Martial. Maybe he won't, but I expect him to start. And if he does start, I think he will score. Just because it's his debut, he'll be trying his guts out. And Man United are favourites to get the better of Palace anyway. So he'll be up there in the goal-scoring positions. I think he'll score. So come on, Weghorst. Let's be having you, my son. I'm not going to pretend like I'm absolutely buzzing over the moon about it. That would make me a faker. Because my honest, genuine feeling with the whole Weghorst signing is it's like this. I feel tepid. It's like if somebody gave me a cup of tea and it's lukewarm. It's better than it's being cold. But I'd much rather if it was steaming hot, you know. That's kind of where I'm at with him. He's kind of lukewarm for me. It's a lukewarm signing. I really hope that he actually shuts me up, though, and he goes and bangs a load of goals and proves that he's a top player in the Premier League for Manchester United. But he is more of a lukewarm sort of player, I think. He's not hot, scorching, hot property in world football expected to get you 25 goals a season in the Prem. That's not who we've signed. We've signed a lukewarm melter. Eriksen passing versus City was so precise. Oh, yeah, he has actually. I mean, Casemiro's been so good that it's almost easy to overlook Eriksen, but Eriksen's just been Mr. Metronome in the middle of the park. Super consistent, ticking things over. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. In fact, I mean, this is big praise, right? This is big praise. But I haven't felt as good in the midfield as I do right now since we had, like, Carrick and Scholes. I do not feel like we will get overrun by anybody at the moment with Eriksen and Casemiro in there with their technical abilities. Previously with Fred and McTominay, those guys, they're getting done every week. But these guys, at least passing the ball, technicality-wise, they're as good as anybody. So I feel like we've got Carrick and Scholes or something similar, you know, something similar finally after all these years. So I'm buzzing my tits off. Yeah, he's neat and clean. Alcan says Eriksen is off form recently. Do you think? I mean, I have to say that I do disagree with you. I think Eriksen's been pretty damn consistent for us. You know, the only concerns I got about him is he seems like his fitness isn't where it needs to be because he's only been playing like 60 minutes and stuff. But other than that, he's been pretty decent. He's been pretty decent. Casemiro, the best steady Eddie to play the game, says El Professor. What you saying now, Graham Souness, bud? What you saying now, Graham Souness, you fucking absolute dry lunch? You know? Just an average fucking journeyman player, is he fucking Graham Souness, mate? Um, Fred's not doing bad, bud. No, Fred's not doing bad. Sancho can play 10. That's a good point, Nesco. Yeah, that's a good point. We could see something like that happen at some point if there's injury issues. Casemiro and Scholes, imagine. Oh, now you're talking, Dutch Christ. Yeah. Souness is a fucking clown, says Palmaris. Design Pattern says, how are you feeling about a little challenge? I'm not a United fan, so I'm not sold by what I saw in the City game, but numbers say you are in it. In terms of the season, I would say that we're in it. We got a chance. Yeah, we got a title challenge on the go there. Design Patterns, why not? Arsenal was significantly ahead, but they will bottle job it like they usually do. City definitely beatable at the moment. They're not consistent like they have been previously. Yeah, we're in a title challenge, definitely. We might not win the title, but we're in a title challenge. Yeah, Howard says Eriksen is great, just don't last the full game. Sancho work rate worse than Martial. Having him cam would be disgusting. Well, if he's going to get back in there, then he's got to work harder, doesn't he? I think that's what this whole break has been about. Ten Hag sent him away, missed out on the World Cup. It's a psychological reset. It's a you've got to work really hard if you want to be in this team type situation, I think now. Let's hope he can rise to it. Sancho doesn't get a place in the first team. No, he doesn't, Kate Cadet. He definitely doesn't, and not at the moment. Anthony on the right, Rashford on the left, any striker up top, and Bruno in behind. Yeah, Sancho doesn't start right now. I agree with you. You are in it, no question, says Design. Pig, what do you make of Graham Potter, says Ben Dorr? Right, what do I make of Graham Potter? Well, just too big of a job for him that. He shouldn't have stepped. I mean, you can't turn a job down like that if it's coming knocking. But the Brighton job, to go up from Brighton to Chelsea, it is a big leap. Some people can step up. I just think he's out of his depth, to be honest. Maybe it's just a case of, he's only just come in, he doesn't have much time. But they're just trying to chuck money at it to solve the problem and get all these players in. And it's hard to get them all to gel. I understand that. He does need more time. But also, I just do think ultimately it's going to end in tears. I don't think he's big enough for the job. It's a tough old job, that one. And he's had to step up from Brighton to Chelsea. I just don't think it's going to end well for him at all. Not that he's not a good manager, because, we're talking about somebody a few months ago who was in contention to maybe be future England manager. We're talking about Eddie Howe and Graham Potter as the two best English coaches in the league. So he's obviously a good coach, but it's just not a right fit for him at Chelsea, whatever the reason. Maybe it's just too big of a club, too big of a job, too many egos, whatever the case may be. I think he's going to struggle. Thank you so much, Chris Koo, man. Let's go. Let's get a hashtag Sue in the chat for him. He says, I bet Eriksen thanks his lucky stars he came to us and not Burnley. Correct choice, sir. No disrespect to Burnley. Oh, big time. Yeah, he could actually win some things this season. Oh, his stock's massively inflated, hasn't it? Previously, a year ago, he's playing for Brentford. Year before that, he's having a bloody cardiac arrest. So just the mere fact that he's now considered a starter, like a consistent, has to start in every single Man United game, just goes to show you what a great player he is. But also, yeah, you're right. You definitely made the right choice coming to United and being maybe a smaller part of something bigger. But in the end, he's not really been a smaller part of something bigger. He's been a big part of something bigger. So definitely better for him in every single way, yeah. Potters make pots and vases, not football teams, says Gary Neville. I like Gary Neville, to be fair, Howard Garrix, but he does talk some absolute tosh sometimes, and he is a bit of a hypocrite as well sometimes. Like, when he was on, like, Have I Got News for You the other week and got absolutely rinsed for taking the Qatari money and all this shite, and it's like he didn't have a good comeback to it. He's just sucking at the teat like most. Let's be fair. Anyway, Vutinator says, smash the like button for the pig. Thank you very much, Vuti, you legend. Did Ten Hag set a manager level in England higher, says Pascal Scholten? Maybe he did say, like, when he came in, he said, eras are made to be ended, basically, talking about Liverpool and City and Pep. I think Ten Hag's got a lot of confidence in himself, and maybe this is the Ten Hag era. How many goals would Weghorst have to score to consider him staying? Not that many. It depends what he does for the team as well. Not that many. Like I say, 5, 6, 7, 8 in the league. Again, similar figures in all competitions elsewhere. That's as long as he's useful and helps out, it's what we want. Sancho back into team training, says Nesco. Harsh to say Neville was being bang average as a player and a pundit. It's harsh to say Neville was bang average as a player and a pundit. Is it harsh to say Neville was... Oh, right. Not if that's your opinion, but it is wrong. I'm going to be honest, I think Gary Neville, because of the sort of player that he was, i.e. no skill, all basics, As in, and that I don't mean that badly. I mean, he was good at crossing, passing, tackling, all that stuff. There's no flair. There's no pizzazz with Gary Neville. You're not going to get any of that. There's no Roberto Carlos pizzazz, right? But what he is Mr. Solid. He was Mr. Consistent. And I actually think he's criminally underrated as a player, Gary Neville, because he was England's best right back for a fucking decade, Man United's best right back for a decade or so, you know. He's criminally underrated, I actually think. Okay, he's never getting in any World 11s for who's your best right back of all time. But tell you something, he was actually brilliant for us. He was brilliant for us, and I don't know what you mean, Berber. I think he was fucking awesome, Gary Neville. Anyway, but I love him. 3-1 says Rajat. Fergie said Neville was 2 inches away from being a great centre-back, says the special one. Neville did his job and did it well, says Rashmano. So was Bakary Sanya, says Bendel. Average player pig, in my opinion, used to watch United week in, week out, especially treble-winning teams. Best mate of Beck's did a few good overlaps, but he's not the reason you guys beating Juventus. No, he's not the reason we're beating those teams, but you also have to remember he was so solid. But what he did, it's like you could depend on him most weeks to do his job really well at right back. That's where he was at. So he was never tremendous. You know, he could also get you people forget he had decent crossing. He had decent crossing. He'd get you some decent goals from crosses and stuff. I think he was underrated, to be fair. Not everybody. You can't have an 11. You can't have 11. You know, like, well, some teams do, Galacticos, or you can't necessarily have 11 world-class players though. You got to have some who are like competitors, who are workhorses, who are, you know, have that work rate, that competitive edge, that right mentality. They might be lacking a little bit technically, but they make up for it in other ways. That's Gary Neville for you. He was a workhorse. Ruddy Can't Game, thank you for the super chat, mate, and bringing those vibes. Corner vibe. Ruddy, are you coming for the ride? Thank you very much. Let's get some love in there for the lad. Yeah, he was a steady Eddie. Very dependable. I mean, nobody's ever going to say, maybe he's rated about rightly so where he's at, because nobody's ever going to say he's one of the best right backs. But certainly to say he's average is an understatement, because he was much better than average. But he was not one of the world's best players, no. But he was a great player. Cool, yeah, very dependable. Piggy, do you ever see a manager ever on the same level as we have now, says Pascal Shelton? Well, only really Fergie, mate. From like obviously Ten Hag's only just come in. Consistency is going to be the proof in him, but only really Fergie. I haven't really felt like we've had a proper manager who fits and gets it 100% like Ten Hag has done since Fergie was here. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty happy with Ten Hag in here at the moment. You're not interested in any part of this shit, but I wanted to support. Roddy, thank you so much, but I appreciate that. Your Arsene Hollands are flying, mate. We'll smash you up next time. I just say it as I see it, remember it, same with Rashford. And again, with Rashford, you're totally wrong. You know, Rashford is effective as fuck. But, you know, when he's retired, maybe we will look back at him as kind of like, you know, one of those players that's below the top tier of players. I think that's fair to say. Yeah, he's still got time left. But he's still effective though, Berber. I don't get the... I don't get it. He had a bad 18 months, I'll give you that. But before that, he was great. And after that, he was great. So he's great, isn't he? But each to their own opinions. That's what's so good about football, guys. Some people think, oh, this guy should be playing. Some people think that guy should be playing. Some people think this guy's a great player. Some people think this guy's a good cash player. That's football for you. Mourinho, Pig, come on, he got you, yeah, fair enough. Okay, well, Mourinho got us position 2 in the league, and also he did win us the Mickey Mouse treble. But to tell you something, I didn't feel that with Mourinho. The last time I felt any sort of actual positivity to the biggest degree that I do now, actually, is not going back as far as Fergie. If I'm being totally honest, it's when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had us finishing above Liverpool that season. That's when I last felt like, yes, we are a team, we are progressing. Now, it turned out to be pretty false in the end, or maybe it was just ruined by bad decisions like bringing in Ronaldo to upset the status quo. But whatever happened, it all fell off after that season. But I actually did feel really behind that squad. I felt like there was a camaraderie, even though Ollie was making a lot of the wrong decisions, like playing Maguire and stuff like that. I did feel like he actually had us unified for a while anyway, until Ronaldo came. AR Dan, thank you so much for becoming a member of the Bacon and Egg Brigade again, my son. Dude, thank you so much. Let's get some love in there for AR Dan. He's become a member of Bacon Brigade. Get your favourite Phil Jones emoji in there. Thank you, AR Dan. That's very kind of you, man. Very, very kind of you indeed. Pig, they are doing a redo of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon based around Chelsea FC. Yeah, it's going to be called Crying Fan Base Hidden Potter. I mean, that's so bad. It's almost good. Like, I don't know how you've arrived at that. It's not even a play on words of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon at all. Like, it's just different words. It's just awful. But it's sort of almost that bad, but it's good. Ants TV and DJ and says score prediction tomorrow. I'm going 3-1 Ants. Right, let's everyone get your score prediction. I'm actually going to have to wrap this video up soon because it is Tuesday night. It's 11:15 and I'm currently in a hotel room. And if I don't shut up soon, I'm going to get a knock on the door from Angry Brian next door. He's going to be like, what the fuck are you doing at 11 p.m, mate? So, you know. We'll go in for David. What do you think? What's that now, Rashat? 2-0 says Ross, Josh Lee. 2-1 says Chloe Jenkins. 3-0 says Hidden Element. 3-0 says Codex Gaming. Weghorst hat-trick says AI Dan. Ben Dorr, I'm in an undisclosed location, my son. An undisclosed location. You just like the stupidity of it, to be honest, says Kate Cadet. Rashford is a big deal right now. I don't like him, but Barca... Oh, no! Shit! Bloody bufferation again there. Can you hear me, guys? Can you still hear me, guys? Fucking hell, I need to go get my haircut, guys. Look at this. That's it. I'm going to get my haircut tomorrow. I'm actually sick and tired of these shitty bits of hair sticking out anytime I look at the camera. There's fucking bits of hair poking out, mate. It makes me look deranged. I've got to get rid of it. Oh, Jonathan David at Leo. Oh, I know who you mean, Rashad. Yeah, I think he's a good option, mate. Definitely. Canadian vibes. You hear, says Hidden Element. Pigs on the run, says Duncan. Buffered just for a sec. Oh, okay, thank you. I'm back. Thank you, Susan. Pigs and Escort. His client will be there soon, says the Hoot Man. You are back. Thank you, Susan. Go board, says Josh Lee. I might do. I've got a round head, lad. You'll shave it, says Matthew Chapman. Bring it on. Looks like a Britannia hotel room. Pig says SM3YT. Interesting. Interesting, SM3. Foden haircut. Shave it off, says Madhouse. 3-1 United Voot. Doubt. Come on, Madhouse. Do it for 10 hours. Anyway, guys, I am actually going to have to wrap this video up. We've been going 1 hour and 8 minutes. It's getting too late, so I'm going to have to finish it off. That's what she said. But either way, it's too late, guys. So thank you, everyone, for watching, though. But do come back after this video is finished and get your thoughts and opinions in the not live comment section about the scoreline. Get your predictions in. And also choose your starting 11. Let us know your formation and starting 11 and your scoreline after this video is finished. Come back in the not live comments and bang it in there. Thank you, Marky Wallace, you handsome bastard. How are you doing? Cheers, Madhouse. Rush Mano says subscribe to the channel, guys. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you're new to this channel. We cover United every single day, so get yourself involved. Drop a like on it. We're nearly at 150 likes. Every little like counts, guys, around here. Helps us with exposure and an extra view here or there, recommendations on YouTube's algorithm, etc. It's a cruel mistress. You can counter the algorithm, mistress, by smashing a thumbs up on it, guys. Nice one. And also subscribe. Subscribe and click the bell. What's wrong with your hair? Looks like a bloody Viking, mate, says Dinyashkar. That's about right. It's just basically I've got bits sticking out, mate. Look at that. I don't like it. Like, if it's a bit longer and I could tie it at the back, but because it's a bit short, now it's got the side bits have got too long. I don't know, mate. It just ain't good, mate. It just ain't good. Thank you, Raj. I've actually already had my food tonight. And I feel sick. I feel actually sick. You know when you got the opportunity to eat as much as you want, and you don't stop at a normal rate, at a normal amount, and you just keep eating because it's free, essentially. That's where I'm at, guys. Feel pretty ill. FIFA, I had 2 big plates of food and a bowl of ice cream, and I'm fucking absolutely about to puke. Well, not puke, but I feel bloated to God. I'm supposed to be on a diet. I know, Kate, I'm back on the diet tomorrow, mate. To be fair, I am actually still on the diet today. Like, I did have one thing for breakfast today, which was like a bit of cheese and some what's it called? The sausage, Spanish sausage. Chorizo, I forgot the fucking name of it for a second. Bit of that. Other than that, I didn't eat anything all day. So unless I smashed 2,000 calories this evening in this evening's meal alone, which may have been the case, actually, then it's probably still okay. Anyway, Stevie Wonder's artwork picture on the wall there, Ping, looks like a Radiohead album cover. It's a bag of shit, mate. Any old twat could do that. Just get a bit of looking red on a palette knife, swipe it to the left. It's a bag of shit, mate. I agree with you. Want ice cream or something now? Says Rajat. Spanish sausage, eh? Guys, thanks for watching. I better finish it there. But you're a bunch of legends. There is no FIFA tonight, Jonathan Gallagher, pal. Sorry. No, I can't actually do it, bud. I can't actually do it because I'm going to be too loud. Like, this is not a good place for doing it. There's just a wall there, and somebody's on the other side of that wall, and I can't stream late. I'll piss people off. But I'm trying to figure some stuff out, guys. All shall be revealed at some point. But anyway, right, guys, thank you for watching. That is the end of my stream. Rajat, Sonic, Chris, Jonathan Gallagher, the Hoot Man, Pascal, Charlie, all the moderators, people like Berber, Kay Slater, Vutinator, Rushmano, of course, all the legends of the channel, Jonathan Gallagher, Kate Cadet, Susan Lively Sue, Palmarius, Rajat, Reaper King, Chris Koo, Gaiman Simp, Ben Dorr, Matthew Chapman, Marky Wallace, Philip Chapman, Josh Lee, the Hoot Man, and everybody. Ben Dorr. Thank you, everyone, for getting in here. Appreciate you all watching the stream and being with me. Yeah, so thank you for getting in here, guys, and watching the stream. Like, subscribe, comment, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Twitch, all at Flying Pig United. Check out the website as well, which is flyingpigunited.com for your latest news. Thank you, Disco Dave. Thank you, Dutch Christ. Thank you, Kate Cadet, and everyone else as well. Jordan Wall will be back on for the watch-along in some capacity, so make sure you come and join us about R7. Night, Case later, and all the rest of you legends. Good night, guys. Come back after this is finished. Get your score predictions in the not live comments after this is finished, and also come back and post your teams, your starting 11s in the live chat. What would you select? See you tomorrow, guys. Come on, United. We're going to smash up those crystal phallus smells. See you there. And remember, when the seagulls follow the trawler, as this is because they think a crystal palace thug will be Kung Fu Kangtana kicked by the king. Thank you very much. That was shit, guys. That's absolutely shit. Bye, guys. Much love to you guys. And let's fucking smash up these melters just like Cantona did that Palace fan back in the day. Oh, yeah. See you tomorrow, guys. Come on, boys. Ten Hag doing bitch. United on the rise. The title challenge is on, my son. Let's cement it with a drubbing up display against those crystal phallus melts. Time to smash those brittle sharded phalluses into bits. See you soon, dudes.